Hello and welcome to a brand new adventure. So in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the King's Mill Goit. Now if you remember in the last video we looked at the various tunnels and underneath Leeds City Station. And you may also remember this clip that I showed you, which is the River Aire bending underneath Leeds Station. And I did mention in the video that straight ahead underneath there the river continued. Now if you just take a look at this image, this is an aerial view of Leeds City as it is today. Now I'm going to highlight on your screen in yellow the route of the original King's Mill Goit and its tributaries as well. There was also a small river with a weir that joined the River Aire further down. And then I'm going to take you to the old maps. So this map is from 1852 and I've highlighted on your screen the route of King's Mill Goit. And then let's head to this map, which is from the early 1900s. And as you can see there, the station has been remodelled at this stage and the Goit is no longer visible on the map. Now we're told that the Goit still survives underneath the streets of Leeds. But we do know that this Goit may have possibly been filled in from where the River Aire heads underneath the station, as you can see from these pictures here. These were taken in the early 1900s and appear to show them bricking the tunnel up where the Goit would have left the River Aire. Okay, so let's get on with the explore. So I'm going to take you down on foot to the edge of the River Aire. Now a Goit was used as basically a channel, a water channel, to channel running water to power mills and things like that back in the Victorian era. Now that's rumoured to be what that was down there. Like I said, I think back in the early 1800s, that was the original course of the River Aire before the city started to appear. So what we're going to do very shortly is head over there and we're going to look for that tunnel, or for an entrance to a tunnel underneath Neville Street, and also see what's left on the King's Mill site. But like I say, apparently this Goit that was down here was blocked off in the 1900s and it no longer exists. Apparently there's a dead end just under here now, where it used to go underneath Queen's Hotel over there. So we've just made our way around the other side of Leeds Station again, and we're now in front of the Queen's Hotel. And I'm going to show you roughly the route of where the King's Mill Goit went. So it would have headed from where I was earlier on over there towards the Queen's Hotel, and then it goes underneath here, probably 5, 6, 7 feet down underneath this road, down under there, follows that wall, and then across where the Neville Street Bridge is, just there underneath the road. So what we're going to do is head down there now and take a look at an apparent access gate which is at the end of Neville Street, which would have led down to the King's Mill Goit, and the apparent weir that was also behind there that joined the River Aire further down. Like I said, that site was covered in mills, and that would have been to use to power the mills. So somewhere behind this wall here on the right and down will be what remains of the King's Mill Goit. Like I said, nobody actually knows if it remains today. It was apparently filled in the 1900s, but we know it was filled in as far back as the River Aire. But apparently underneath the Queen's Hotel it still exists today. So that would mean that it continues under here. Now we're just reaching the Neville Street Bridge here now. And this is exactly where the Goit will run. So the Goit runs directly across here, underneath, probably a few feet below us. And what we're going to do is head over there. You can just see that doorway over there. That's an apparent access to the old Goit. So apparently in times of flood, they would have used this doorway to access the Goit so they could remove any debris that formed down in the Goit down there. But immediately to our right, another branch came off the Goit from the River Aire and joined the River Aire down at the bottom down there. So right behind this wall here now, in the next arch, would have been a weir that went down, and then another branch. So I'll show you on this map here so you can see what I'm talking about. What we're going to do now is make our way down to the back to show you the original exit from the river of that weir under the arches. So we just made our way down the back of the station, so we're now at the side of what is known as Swinegate, which runs underneath the station there. Now this archway here is believed to be the one that the weir or the river exited from up the top of Neville Street. So it would have run down here, gone down a weir and then exited down here somewhere through this arch here on the left. When they developed the station, all the brick arches that you see here would have been part of the new station, and then later in the 60s they extended it again, so what you're seeing again is probably a third extension. You can see today a lot of them are just empty. I'm just going to show you the site of what was King's Mill. So that was all around here, roughly where these arches are here, and also behind us. All these banks of the River Aire behind me and at the side of me were all part of the King's Mill complex and various other mill complexes. Now the Goit that I was talking about ran right through the middle of that, and it exited just on the banks down here of the coals, which still exists today. So those mills you can see over there, we're going to head down there and I'm going to show you where the Goit exited, just down there. There's also another exit just further back here, and also one down there which I'll show you very shortly, which has still got something distinguishable down there. So right where we are now is what is known as Coles Landing, and as you can see a lot of the original mills still exist today on the banks of the River Aire. And just look at how beautifully calm it is today, not a breeze in sight. Now the Goit, the King's Mill Goit, exited just over there. I'll just zoom in for you. That was the end of the Goit there where it entered the River Aire. You can still see the shape of the wall there. And then the Goit ran along the back of these mills here, under the road over there. Now these ones are all brand new, underneath there and off towards Leeds Station. So what I'm going to do now is we're just going to head down further down the River Aire. I'm going to show you something that remains of the former King's Mill. And like I said, it was all demolished in the 1900s. There's still a stone which I think would have been above the mill door. I've nicely put it in the bank of the river into the wall, so we'll take a look at that down there. Now I brought you down here to the beautiful river's edge because I'm told that there is a keystone on the opposite wall over there that says King's Mill on it. Now unfortunately it appears, because it's summer, we've been blocked out from seeing it. I'm just going to double check around the site, but if not I'm going to put a picture in here which I saw, which was taken from around here looking at the keystone over there. So you can just see the name which they've nicely etched into, or used the original stones into the banking over there. So all the King's Mill site would have been all of this here, right round. And also the weir that you saw in the picture also would have exited somewhere around this point here, would have joined the River Aire just here. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel for free by clicking the logo here and click subscribe. Like the video, put any comments you have down below. If you would like to support the channel or would like to make a donation, there are links in the description below. And finally, a big thank you to our existing supporters of the channel. See you on the next adventure.